Let's do the overview of the trending topics. Why is it showing 2013 charts? I don't know. But the San Francisco Giants clinched their position for the World Series. Apple's in the news, of course, because they're marketing something and it's internet related, so it's all over the internet. Some anti-aging stuff just came to my attention. I don't know what to make of it. It's got a video on here, YouTube. Telomere, is it? So if you were concerned about aging, then check it out, Telomere. I don't recommend it. I'd say I'm just checking it out. I would probably try it based on how much I know. Carnival cruise ship returns to the dock in Texas after Ebola concerns. So this is Carnival Magic cruise ship. So it comes out of Texas. It's not like a Miami one, but just that general Gulf of Mexico area, and they cruise around the Caribbean, and it was the nations of Mexico and Belize told them not to come over. We're not going to allow you. More news of Ebola is that its motto now, if you want to call it that, the disaster over a generation, and this comes from Oxfam. So President Obama, I don't know. Okay, get ready here. Nope, see, I don't do those ads. But you see Obama there doing a statement about the hysteria, So obviously he has to say, everybody calm down. Speaking of calming down, people are leaving Israel. There's a lot of expats. So we also need to talk about the fact that there's a lot of expats from the United States. So that means if you study every country and you look at how many people are leaving, because I've heard the same thing about Italy, I've heard the same thing about Spain, I've heard it about a lot of countries. So does it mean that people are just leaving the country of their origin to, check out another country? And isn't that just because, there's a global culture we have? We have the technology, you can travel, it's more acceptable. You can go there, so every city is becoming more multicultural and international. Isn't that what it's about? But anyhow, Israel has a problem, and I'm not going to go into the politics, but this man is the center of the controversy. So he wrote his experiences as some kind of, I think it was a Facebook post, and he was talking about the pudding. It was like milky pudding. I think they call it milky. And that's why they call him Pudding Man. So he said, I get this so cheap, it's like 60 or 70% off. And that's why I left Israel, and I'm enjoying it in Berlin, pudding paradise, and everything else is cheaper. Everything, he's saying, across the board. So why not move to Germany? So this is really ironic. Yahoo also aggregates this from AP. Actually, wait, the Washington Post, let's see, they did their own article. And Anthony Fayola, and Yahoo is posting this from Aaron Heller and Kristen Grisham. Okay, so they're different writers. Anyhow, here's the picture that they feature, and you can see people wearing these shirts, I Love Berlin, and these are Israelis, or former Israelis. And they're talking about the controversy that's taking place in Israel because of it. And they're saying, this is a shame, because Jews have to live in Israel. And, this is just crazy that they're moving to the place where the Nazis were founded. This is just crazy. Why the new generation, this is mostly about younger people wanting to move away. And they're saying, what an outrage. And are they advertising to me over here? That's Barbara Streisand. So I have this article up here now that is from Hollywood Reporter, and a political activist celebrity actress is chiming in for the Democrats. So she's, what do they call it when they do that? Anyhow, so she's like, we need money. Now, if you haven't heard, okay, I have a somewhat indirect connection with Barbara Streisand, other than the fact that, I've been a fan of her work. No, I'm not a extreme fanatic. I don't worship or follow her, but I think she's pretty good. I also like Woody Allen. I like Jackie Mason. I like, who are some other female Jewish American? Anyhow, I can't think of any because I'm just thinking about Barbara Streisand saying this. She's obviously on the side of the Democrats. So I don't know how close she is with Obama. She's close enough. But the thing is, see, it's not about Obama coming up in the next year or two. He has to go. They weren't able to increase his term limit. He only has the 2-term limit, which everyone has had, except for FDR, Roosevelt. Not Teddy Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, FDR. Now, with Obama going out, the Democrats have to find somebody. So now they're talking about Congress, midterm campaigns. So I've got to get my years straight. The campaigning for the president doesn't happen until next year. It'll really kick in next year for the U.S. And so that means Hillary Clinton's going to come out. They're talking about Mitt Romney, but who knows? If you look at the stats, now this is what's interesting over here. I got these stats that just came up. I didn't ask for them, on American presidents and candidates, and you can see the amount of exposure that Obama got from internet trending when he was being elected. See, this is 2009. I mean, look at this. This is phenomenal. 2008. October to November and December, the whole end of the year of 2008. I remember that. He was huge. And if you didn't hear about Obama by that point, I mean, your head was under a rock. So how do they do this? Well, the Democrats were able to do this. Now, they didn't have to do it for 2012, because Obama was already president. He's like a shoo-in. That's the end of 2012, November 2012. Look at how high he is. But look at Romney. Romney barely comes up at all. His peak was October 2012, and he's a fraction, like not even 1/3 of what Obama had generated and hyped up 4 years before. So Now, that either has to do with him personally, who's running his campaign, or it has to do with the party. The Republicans are just not wanting to use or capable of using the internet. And if you see over here, Bush, even though he was a shoo-in at the end of 2004, he actually got more of a splash than Romney, where Romney needs it because he's not the household name, he's not the president yet. So, I mean, it looks like failure or intentionally lacking, because maybe they conceded to Obama for another term, and maybe the deal is that Romney's really going to be pushed hard. Typically what you see is you see a pattern of, you get a Democrat, then you get a Republican. You usually haven't seen two Republicans or two Democrats in a row. And the reason for that is because, I'm going to show you my book here. The reason for that is there's a deal between the parties. And they're not going to admit to it, but I think there is a deal. I wrote this, and I hope people, you know what, this edition's going to be changed, and the price is going to be lowered, so don't be fearful. I studied the trends in the presidents since I had to do this focus on FDR. I'm like this scholar in FDR now. I can debate anyone on it, but the point is that before FDR, you had the trend of 3 Republicans in a row that came in after Wilson. Woodrow Wilson was actually forgotten in the greatness that he had. He had a lot of power at that time, and that was during World War I. He's been not remembered so well. However, what happens is that he gets buried because 3 Republicans in a row come in after that. If you recall, it was Harding, Coolidge, and then Hoover. 3 Republicans. And then finally, FDR comes in after the Hoover debacle, the Hoover Depression failure. He created the Great Depression, in a way. It's a group blame, but Hoover takes the fall for it. Anyhow, that's my talk, and hopefully it wasn't too political. I'm just covering what I can, and make sure you check out my other videos and all that other good stuff. Thanks.